Clyde is 86 years old and he loves driving and showing his Mustangs. This is his convertible 96 bright tangerine orange Mustang GT, and if you look in the background, you'll see he even has a coupe of the same car. I was excited to come across these pictures. The bright tangerine orange Mustang GT is one of my favorite cars, especially in the SN95 platform. This coupe reminds me a lot of one that was in town when I was growing up, and I have videos about that car as well as a convertible that was also in my neighborhood. So he has both of the cars that I really loved to see when I was growing up. This one has the painted wheels, and that was exactly like the one that I knew growing up. I really loved those wheels, and they were the most common wheels I saw in the bright tangerine orange GTs. The second most common I saw were these starfish style ones, and I believe these were the only two type of wheels you could get on that car. They're the only ones I had seen that came that way. So here's a picture of him with the black bullet wheels and white stripe on his convertible. That looks really good. The white top, just like the other one that I knew here in town. Here's a picture of it with the top down, and he had a set of these wheels which were polished. And I really like these wheels, and I believe these are off a 98 because the inserts are not anthracite in color or different. Now I have the 3 owner's manual here for 96 through 98 that my friend Tyler Ahern had given me, so very grateful for that. There's the tangerine orange, and it shows that these 2 wheels here were the only GT optional wheels, and they were not polished. And so I realized that those would have only been offered on the Tangerine GT, and you could not get the polished ones like on the brochure for the 97. And so if we look in here, you'll see there are the same wheels, but they are polished, and they do not offer them non-painted in 97, but the inserts, which are here on this part of the wheel, those are darker in color for 97. And then in 1998, they decided to make it just more of a brighter color wheel, so it was polished as well, but it didn't have the anthracite color, or also known as the dark argent color. It's kind of a gray insert color. And so here in 98 you can see that it's more just a plain color wheel with the polished face, which looks really good. So I love these wheels a lot. And then if you look, you'll see that he also had a set of chrome ones. So this would have been aftermarket to have those chrome dipped and the center caps and everything. And so that looks really good. It's always fun to change the wheels around on the cars. I believe this is his convertible. I believe that's where the picture came from, which is funny because I had come across this picture years ago, but I didn't know it was his car. So I think this is his car with the wheel change, and it looks like he's changed the wheels a few times. So looking at the hardtop, I really like this car, and you can see it has some of the pinstriping if you look closely. It has the aluminum wheels that are painted. It has louvers on the back window. It has a shorty antenna. And if you look closely, it has side skirts with side exit exhaust. And that side exit exhaust might not be functional. Maybe it is. Maybe later it would be. But it does have the factory style over the axle catback with aftermarket tips. Probably an aftermarket catback, but very good looking car. I really like seeing this car. And so here are some more pictures at a car show with a trophy, very well deserved. And this other picture he has in the driveway, I find this kind of interesting because it's missing the center caps, and that could be just from changing the wheels around or getting the tires rotated or something like that. But this picture is interesting to me because the Tangerine Orange GT that I knew growing up was missing the rear center caps. And the reason for that, when I asked the owner of the one I knew, said that he had it parked at the mall, and he came out one day and the back 2 were gone. Somebody had stolen those back 2 center caps off the car. So that picture brings me back to that memory. But here you can see the pinstriping a little bit more. I really think the car looks great with those wheels. This looks like an older picture before the side exit exhaust. And this picture I really like because I used to call the bright tangerine orange Mustang GT an autumn orange GT. Now there is an autumn orange GT. It's more like laser red, but just with an orange tint to it. And I always thought that was the name of the color. But it turns out that the autumn orange Mustangs were made in 1997, and there were about 1,519 of them made. And here's a V6. So this one was one I came across. So I believe they did make it in the V6 as well. And the brochure for 1997, the Autumn Orange GT is here, and it even shows right here. It's hard to tell because it does kind of look like laser red. But this one is called Tangerine Orange. But the reason I called it Autumn Orange was because it was always in the fall that I would see that car come to town. And the other one that I knew as well, because they were snowbirds and they would come visit once it got too cold and snowy up north, and then they had a second home down here. So this picture reminds me of the fall, and I just love the orange with the fall. It just totally reminds me of the car I knew and the reason why I like that car so much. So another cool picture of him standing by the car, and another picture of it in the parking lot at a car show. One of the coolest cars there, in my opinion. And so you could see how much he enjoys the car, taking it around, and even putting it away in the winter. Here's a picture of it with snow and ice on top of it, and then how good it looks with the cover off of it. And so that's mostly the pictures I have of that car, but I did come across another car in that post, which was this 96 bright tangerine orange Mustang GT convertible. And this one was interesting because almost every, well, I'll say every bright tangerine orange GT convertible I've ever seen has white interior and a white top. And so this one did not have that. And I asked the owner, I said, I've never seen a bright tangerine with a black top. Did you order it that way? And he did reply to me and say, yes, I ordered it exactly how I wanted it. Black top, black leather interior, Mach 460 stereo, performance axle ratio, which I'm not sure if that was something you could get with an automatic. I assume this car was an automatic, but really cool to see. That could very well be a one-of-one car. So it'd be cool to know if the Marty report would come out for that car, if somebody ordered it. I assume he didn't have it anymore because he said he had it. And so I was actually surprised to see a few more bright tangerine orange Mustang GTs around. And that was just something that lately I've seen more of. And I did make a video recently of another one. And my friend Garrett, who runs Second Shift Racing, sent me this picture of a bright tangerine orange GT that had a 4-valve swap. And I thought that was really cool. And he had told me that they had been working on this one not too long ago. And so I said, oh, cool, 4-valve swap? And he said, yep, with a YSI blower. And so I was happy to see that somebody really loved this car and that they had taken the time to not only take good care of it, but invest some money into it and make it really nice and have a 4-valve with a supercharger. So really cool to see. So I love seeing these cars. They're really neat. I did include this one in a video I had made previously. It had 200,000 or 300,000 miles on it, and it was sideswiped, but it was saved, and they did want to sell it to someone who would fix it. And then this one, I believe, was in Canada for sale. And so that was really fun to see. And since I've made the other videos, I have had some people say that they either used to have one of these or that they do have one of these. So that's pretty cool to talk to people who've had them. So really fun to see. Really love these cars. I just wanted to make a little bit more of a video of this since I've been seeing them lately, and I've had friends send me pictures, and I've talked to the person who had the black top convertible and all that stuff. So that was pretty cool. And I just wanted to make some more content. I do have people ask me if I would make more SN95 specific content, and I'm always happy to because I do love these cars. I love these and the New Edge Mustangs as my favorite cars of all time, and so this is where I have a lot of interest. And so I've owned 4 SN95 Mustangs, 2 GTs, and 2 V6 cars. And so I really do like them. And it's been fun since Tyler had sent me those brochures to look through them and see some of the specifics that I didn't know about the different years. And I'm always learning. And I recently learned that the 97 Mustang Cobra was not offered with laser red as an option. And that was something that I always wondered because I had a 97 laser red V6 and I didn't know that you couldn't get the Cobra in laser red for that year, but you could for 96 and 98, the year before and after. So always something fun to learn. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for more Mustang content.